Okay, now that I've basically turned this desk into a fire hazard, I think we can start. Hey guys, my name is Victoria, welcome back to my channel. I am going to build my vision board with you guys today. It's the 7th of January. I sadly wasn't able to make it till now, so we're just going to do it today. Why stress the new year at all? So far, I've had a very nice new year. If you don't know what a vision board is, it is basically just a bunch of pictures thrown together. I did it twice on my channel, I believe. I will link them down below. I did them on newspaper, so I just put 2 newspaper together. But today we're doing something different. I got myself a little journal, which will be my bullet journal for the year. You can see it in the camera up there. I have a different camera, so the editing process will be quite extensive, but I don't care. I wanted it to be this way. So we're doing this on these 2 pages. The entire vision board will be put here. It's smaller than my usual one, but what I like about this one is that it's portable. I can take it anywhere with me. So I think we'll start right away. I print out pictures on Pinterest. I have a bunch here, and when I cut them out, I usually go for something like this. If you can see the edges, I always like to tear them, the edges, because I really don't like this look of like the clean look where you just cut them, and I don't like that, so we'll be putting it together like this. I have a bunch of pictures. They're quite dark, so, and while I'm doing that, while I'm just putting them on paper, we're going to chat a bit. So what I like to do before I actually put them on the board, I lay them out together. I take a picture so that I'm able to see which picture has to be glued down first, because since I have a lot of these, there's going to be quite the puzzle of putting them together. So I have a reference picture. I'm going to put it here. I'm going to start with the left page. Let me know how 2024 is going for you guys so far. It's been very quiet and nice for me. There's lots of university stuff that I have to do, which is quite stressful, but I try to be optimistic. I actually don't have that many goals for this year. You will see ballet on my vision board and lots of books and quotes, because one of my goals is to read more. It's actually my main goal of this year. And I think we're going to start with this one. This picture is a painting of London. And one of my goals is to go to London this year. Do you guys use bullet journals at all? Do you guys bullet journal? Because I'd really like to know what you put in there. I'm not the best at being consistent with stuff like this. I usually just plan on like taking up a journal and never really do anything and never write anything in it. But so far it has been so much fun to put this all together. I always do it on Pinterest. So because I'm not the biggest fan of gaps, we're going to put pictures underneath. And I know you will be like, oh, you can barely see them. That's the point. I think for the first time in my life, I went into a new year without the goal of losing weight. I always said, oh, I want to be more active. I want to do more stuff. And honestly, no, I'm just not the most active person, and I just realized that in order for me to be more active and get a healthy amount of exercise, I have to find things that I really love doing. Okay, I had a few problems with the glue, so I'm going to have to take another resort, which is going to take so much longer, but I really don't feel like I have a choice. Me and my family, we don't celebrate New Year's that much. We usually just watch television together, eat dinner. I also want to do so many more videos this year. I really want to create more and just be there more often on this channel and say hi to you guys and, you know, especially create. I feel like I think I wrote into my planner, this is the year of creation. Which I know sounds so weird, I know, but I really didn't create much last year. I didn't write much. I didn't make lots of videos, and that was kind of sad. I mean, YouTube is a very, I wouldn't really call it a job, but it does feel like work. And as much fun as it is, it's so much work you put into a single video. It takes such a long time. Let's talk more about the pictures. So as I said, reading, writing is a huge goal of mine this year, but also studying. As some of you know, been watching my channel for a while, you know that I'm studying to be a teacher. So there's a very aesthetically pleasing picture of a girl just looking into this one right here, a bookshelf, and she's just very beautiful. I feel like this could be motivating for me. I really do want to be a teacher, be great at it, fall in love with that job. I'm scared, of course. My entire life I've always said I'm never going to be a teacher, because just imagine being in school your entire life. That was horror for me. And now I really want to be a teacher. Some of you know that a few years ago I wanted to be an actress, and I said that my entire life, and until I realized that I didn't really want to be an actress at all. I love acting, it's so much fun, but I love creating more. It just would not have been the right fit for me, I know that now. And I'm really happy that I found something else that I can maybe fall in love with too. You know, there are other things, writing and singing and dancing, and I need to accept that I won't ever be perfect in anything. I believe. Also, having ADHD, you're interested in so many things, but in order for you to be good in them, you have to practice. And I believe that's one of the most difficult things. Practicing, staying consistent in things is so difficult, at least for me. And I usually think, okay, I have to be perfect at everything on my first try, otherwise I'm not even going to try anymore. I haven't talked to you guys about mental health in a while. I've decided to complete my therapy this year. I want to know what life is like without it. I'm really optimistic about it, because I found myself not really missing therapy when there would be a break. I found that it's so much fun to do it on my own. I've grown so much last year. I don't think I've ever grown that much. My anxiety is almost gone. The roots are still there, definitely, but I now know how to conquer it and how to deal with it. So I know my depression well enough now. I know my eating disorder and everything. So yeah, I want to know what I can do on my own. And I feel like I'm ready to now say that chapter of my first therapy, because I'm definitely not doubting that I might go back in the future, I feel like it's done. I feel like it's completed. I feel complete. And my first page is done. Look how beautiful. It's so much fun. I'm not the best at a collage. I'm really not. I remember art class. Let's not talk about it. It really wasn't my best. One thing that's on this vision board is a quote by Dean Young, and it says, "I have dreamed of you so often, you are no longer real." And I put that on there because not only is it beautiful, but I've also been dreaming so much. I don't know when it started. I feel like last year I definitely felt dreams being extremely influential in my, not really well-being, but in my overall state of the day, and I can remember almost every single detail when I dream, which is a blessing and a curse, because I've had bad dreams. And I want to know what they mean. Of course, they could mean nothing, but I want to get more into dream study or just write down my dreams. I don't necessarily need to analyze them. I just like to know what they're about. One thing I continuously dream about is running away from things. Running away from people, being late to the train station, and missing my train multiple times. It's something I dream about a lot. Dream about people from my past, and then I think about the mistakes I made, the people I gained in my life, the people I lost. So my dreams have been very on the nose. They're like, yeah, we're just going to let you remember every single detail from your dreams. Have fun. I finished a book this week. I think I will finish another book tonight. I've been listening to The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, which is incredible, by the way. If that book has been in your bookshelf, like it has been for me, for over a year, or maybe over 2 years, this is your sign to pick it up next. I'm listening to the audiobook, and I really like the audiobook. So it's about a woman named Addie LaRue, and she makes a pact with a dog god, and she tells him that she wants to be free and she wants to live a long life, and since there's always a risk with wishes, she does get her wish, but the consequence is that she has eternal life now, but no one will ever remember her. So as soon as people turn their face, they forget her. And it's an incredible book, and I will probably finish that tonight. I finished Tender is the Flesh, which is a dystopian novel, and that was incredible. I usually am not the biggest fan of dystopian novels, but this changed my mind. It's about a world where a huge virus, an epidemic virus actually, killed all the animals or made animals so dangerous that people had to kill them, and people could not eat them anymore. So obviously the logical thing, instead of not eating meat, is to now eat human meat. And I love it. I think it's an incredible book everyone should read. There are some false facts in there, obviously, like doctors bringing out statements that you will live a malnourished life when you don't eat meat, which is not true. You have this scenario of pregnant women, which are only called females. It's so absurd and very graphic, so if you're not a fan of gore, you might not like this, but I feel like that's the reason why everyone should read it. I'm very familiar with how to slaughter an animal. I never did it myself. When I became vegetarian and then eventually vegan, I of course educated myself a lot and watched all the videos that are really hard to watch. So I'm familiar with the entire process of how to slaughter an animal for consumption. And reading that, but now happening with humans, was quite a lot. But I loved it. I thought it was a great allegory. And I know people will call me weird for this, but I don't see that many differences between an animal and a human. Of course there are. Of course there are differences, but I don't want to eat a human and I don't want to eat an animal. Or anything that an animal produced. I don't see a difference at all between a cow and a dog. There was one scene which I absolutely hated, in which cruel teenagers killed a bunch of puppies. They murdered them, and it was a really horrible scene, and I wrote on that chapter, do not read this chapter if I ever reread that book. This is so much fun, guys. I've also been reading a book by a coroner who talks about death, even though I really love like skulls and I write in metaphors about death all the time, and I love that, so I feel like I had to educate myself more. It's a non-fiction book and it's in German. Death from the perspective of a coroner, which is very interesting, and I've been loving it so far. It's also good for one of my presentations, which I have to do in January. What is the book you're currently reading? Tell me. I really want to size down my TBR. Jeez, I have so many books. And I'm so sorry because I see them standing in my shelves and they're unread. And so many stories that I don't know yet. So that's one of my biggest goals. And I don't have a number of how many books I want to read this year. I've come to terms with the fact that I'm a slow reader. And I also believe it's quite unhealthy because I know that I fed into this as well with this is how many books I read this month and stuff. So I'm not sure if I'm going to be doing monthly wrap-ups anymore. What I would love to do is do monthly wrap-ups on my Instagram and maybe on TikTok. So if you're interested in that, if I read, I don't know, like 4 books, 3 books, even 2 books, I will do wrap-ups on my Instagram, maybe through stories or maybe even through like actual posts. But I just don't want to feed into this unhealthy reading culture, which I see everywhere. If you're a fast reader and if reading is your favorite thing in the world, that's great. But some people are really slow and they feel pressured, and I did too. They feel pressured to read more, even though they won't enjoy reading more if they read like 5 books instead of 2 a month. The years where I read a lot, which were only 2, I can barely remember the books I read. And last year, I read like 24, and I can remember the books that I read, which I think is much more valuable than the number of books you read. And I think now I'm going to stop talking and let you just listen to some music. I look like a floating face. Like my hair is... Anyway, I finished it and I really like it. I like that I can take it anywhere with me now and just see it all the time, because if I'm in Munich and I put my vision board here, I'm never going to be able to see it when I'm not here. On that note, I believe I'm going to make a little montage of the vision board and let you see everything. I know it's small and I just wanted to say it's nothing special, but for me it's something special. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know if you make a vision board as well, and if you do, maybe send it to me on Instagram. I would love to see your vision boards and what inspires you for this year. I know this is not my first video of 2024, but it's my first official one since the last one was a vlog that I filmed in mid-December of last year. So happy 2024. I hope this year will be full of creation and inspiration and art and beauty and poetry, and I hope that we can spend it together. I'll let you have a little look into my vision board and then I'll end the video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day and hopefully see you in my next video. Bye!